Say goodbye to boring gyms and hello to the future of fitness with nightclub vibes, art, music, and liberty. I'm Jose Cedeño, and tonight on Evening, it's an endurance challenge like no other. Meet the Clipper team navigating their world.
I'm St. Brian in Tacoma with the story of a sandwich shop with a name that doesn't exactly set the bar sky high.
And I'm Chris Cashman aboard the Eurodam, the pride and joy of Holland, America. We're getting ready to head to Alaska in style.
Hello and welcome to the show from Henry's Gymnasium in Capitol Hill. This place has really cool vibes. I talked to the owner to find out more about this concept. What is Henry's Gymnasium?
It's born to be something different. I'm really proud of what we do here. Everything from the decor, the lighting, the music. Both of our locations were born to be part nightclub, part museum, and part fitness. We want this to be a unique space for people because gyms typically are third places for people. You've got work, you've got home, and you've got your gym.
I came in for a tour and loved the place. The equipment's awesome, the staff is awesome. I feel like I've found community here. I've gotten stronger at this gym than I have been at any other gym.
Tell me a little bit about the amenities you guys have.
Lots of toys here. Our equipment offering is a little bit different from what you would find in a traditional gym. Literally the top of the line in terms of what you can find on the market. We're very recovery focused here though. So recovery for us would be things like infrared saunas, Finnish saunas, red light therapy, salt therapy.
Check out the frost locker, very cold in there, and you have your own personal sauna. One of the most unique features about this place is their powerful art and inspirational quotes.
All the murals are designed to reflect and celebrate the communities that we serve.
So tell me a little bit about that photo right there.
We have 3 beautiful murals of Stonewall. This is from the Stonewall Inn itself. We want to pay homage to the sacrifices that those individuals made. It's a very non-judgmental environment here, which really makes us unique. This is a welcoming place for everyone. I've worked in fitness for 35 years. I'm very, very passionate about creating unique spaces, but I'm even more passionate about just meeting people and helping people.
Okay, they open weekdays from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. and on weekends, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Now let's go to Tacoma to check out a new sandwich spot that when it comes to their name, the expectations are pretty low. Here's Saint.
Hey, I'm just gonna say this up front. Everyone we met here had something good to say about Not Bad.
In the basement of the old Tacoma post office, there's a place with a name that doesn't exactly set the bar sky high. This is Not Bad, Dave Cooper's modest sandwich shop.
I just wanted to be kind of cheeky and irreverent, and I just thought that would be a fun name.
Everybody wants food that's not bad.
Dave has worked in big kitchens in big cities, making very serious food. But somewhere along the way, he started craving something simpler.
You know, we just want to have a little more fun this time around.
So now he and his crew are making sandwiches. Not just any sandwiches, the kind inspired by a trip to a tiny shop in Paris called Chez Aline.
It was 2 people behind the counter. They had some homemade salads. They purchased their bread. They purchased their fillings. Did I meet you before?
That stuck with him. The idea that if you get the basics right, you don't need much else. So, with fresh bread from Grand Central Bakery, Dave and his staff make simple sandwiches with a European flair.
These are pretty quick to make, pretty quick to consume, or you can take your time with a glass of wine.
To soothe your sweet tooth, there are also cookies and a coconut rice pudding. Every order gets sealed with a simple sticker, 2 words. Pretty good.
I chose the citadine, and it is delightful.
And people are catching on.
Is honestly different than anything I've ever tried in a sandwich. It has some like roasted onions, some hazelnut pesto, turkey, bacon. It's honestly, when I saw it on the menu, I was like, I have to try this, and I'm really happy I did.
Pulling up a seat at the window, grabbing a sandwich, something to drink, and staying a while.
I think it's not bad. I think it's actually delicious. Probably one of the best sandwiches I've had.
And maybe that's the secret. When you don't try too hard to impress people, you just might.
We're on people's radar. We're in people's kind of regular rotation of places they go to. So that's been very awesome. So yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah. Can't complain.
Not bad. Actually looks pretty good. Thank you, Saint. They open Monday through Fridays from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. Now, you notice that Chris Cashman is not here today. Well, he's on a cruise on his way to Alaska. That makes me a little bit jealous. How you doing there, Chris?
Ahoy, Jose. Yeah, rough assignment today. Welcome aboard the Eurodam, the pride and joy of Holland America, Seattle's hometown cruise line. Here we go again, kicking off another cruise season to Alaska, and Team Evening got to cut the ribbon.
On Seattle-based Holland America's Sail Away Day, the party starts long before you board the ship. The Husky Alumni Band cranks up tequila. Mascots celebrate. That's Louie the Lion partying with UW's Harry the Husky. A couple of local TV hosts celebrate too. And this orange ribbon is begging to be cut. And I have the honor.
Yes! Let there be cruise season!
And these happy guests board the Eurodam in Seattle for the first time in the 2026 cruising season. I talked to Bill Fletcher, Director of Sales, who's been with Holland America 40 years, about this bon voyage.
I got to cut the ribbon today. The captain got to greet passengers. What's it like for Holland America to welcome a new season? Here we go again.
This is actually our 79th year of showing visitors the best of Alaska. Next year we'll be celebrating 80. We get excited about this as soon as one season ends, and we've been working towards this day for months, and here we are, and it couldn't be better.
Cheers!
Once on board, the celebration continues.
Cheers! To Alaska! Woo! Wish you were here!
Watching Seattle vanish in the ship's wake as you're leaving port is truly a pinch-me moment.
This is a big first-time cruise destination for a lot of people, and to experience it on a Holland America ship is really priceless, and I'm so excited for these people that get to leave Seattle on this amazing day and go north to Alaska.
Advice from some longtime cruisers from the South Sound.
For me, it's just relaxation.
What's great is you choose. You do what you want or don't. Go lay around in the sun or go do every activity if that's what you want to do, but you don't have to do anything. You just go, okay, what do I want today?
And we'll leave the last tip to the man who literally cruises to Alaska for a living.
Everything that you've come to see in Alaska is all around you all the time, whether it's glaciers up in the mountain peaks, or maybe a bear walking on the beach, or a whale breaching off the bow. So my best advice to cruisers is always to get outside and watch what's happening around you.
And of course, we're gonna have more stories of the cruise and Alaska next week, right here on Evening.
Still to come on the show, meet the new Seattle Clipper team braving the wild waves in a round the world race. And the Camino Island photographer who works is redefining artistic expression. Evening is sponsored by Henry's Gymnasium and Holland America.
We don't talk about Bruno, no.
Hey, this is Saint. In honor of National Deaf History Month, Disney Plus has started airing songs in sign language with reimagined versions of The Next Right Thing from Frozen 2, Beyond from Moana 2, and here's a bit of We Don't Talk About Bruno from Encanto.
Bruno says it looks like rain. In doing so, he floods my brain.
Welcome back to the show from Henry's Gymnasium in Capitol Hill. Now, I don't know if you guys remember, but a couple of years ago, I was very lucky to be part of Team Seattle and Clipper Round the World race. Now that I got to meet the new team, a lot of memories came back to me of the time I spent in the ocean.
They refer to it as the big one. Leg 6 of Clipper Round the World race takes place in the mighty Pacific. With conditions so extreme, every team will have to give it all. But only one can take the first spot. This time around, it was our boat. The power of Seattle sports.
We've been saying it all the time, like, we're going home, we bring this baby home, and we're gonna be in first, Went through and through, and we just never gave up.
It feels fantastic. Coming home to your own port with a Seattle-sponsored boat and winning first place is just like icing on the cake.
This is bringing a lot of memories to me, just seeing all the boats here in Seattle. I even wearing my retro jacket, 2019, 2020. That's old. The plan is to go out in the water and kind of relive some of the old experiences.
Everybody ready?
Ready! It didn't take too long for the skipper to start giving orders. And just like that, I was right back at it.
This is crazy being back.
Spending time on this boat reminds me of those days that I live in one.
Today is day 8, day 10 now. So it's day 19.
New Year's on the boat. Every birthday is on the boat.
Happy birthday to me! The race has been held every 2 years since 1996. And every season, you see new crew members looking to live the adventure.
So the Clipper race is split into 8 legs. It takes 11 months to go around the globe. Types of people that do it, it's either the dreamers that have wanted to sail across an ocean since they were young, and then it's the people that want to get out of their comfort zone. This is very different from normal life. The ocean is one of those places that isn't as discovered as a lot of other places. We go to some really remote locations, so it's that challenge of dealing with those elements and dealing with Mother Nature.
If you're going to do something like this, sailing across a big ocean, I don't think you could do it with a safer organisation than Clipper. It is a brilliant experience to have.
The oceans, the winds, the philosophy of sailing, go for it, trust yourself and it will happen. It's definitely the race of a lifetime.
Navigating around the world and discovering what you're capable of, it's what it's all about.
As we speak, the boats are racing to Washington, D.C., and Team Seattle sits on the 3rd position in the overall race. So, of course, I'm gonna be rooting for them. Now, when a commercial photographer moved to Camano Island, he started focusing in a new type of art. Images that look more like paintings.
Images that celebrate the outdoors, animals, people, and the forgotten places.
When I was a commercial advertising photographer, it was sort of my job to make things look perfect, but I always wanted to get something a little bit more emotive. The feeling of being out in nature by yourself and that sense of peace and contentment. If I have a subject, I'll try and glorify that subject in a way. I like to get underneath and really discover what caused me to pick up the camera and aim it at something in the first place. Moving up to Camano, we were all of a sudden surrounded by nature and all these critters in my backyard. Come to Papa.
That's when the idea came up to create one of his great art pieces.
I call it backyard fantasy. When people look at it, they wonder, is this a photograph or is it a painting? We can do what painters have been able to do for centuries, and that is create an image that's in our mind, and that's not necessarily what's in front of the camera at any one point in time.
What starts with a photo becomes an image with many layers.
I shoot textures a lot. I create a lot of textural imagery, and I will incorporate textures into a lot of my imagery to provide sort of that tactile. You have bodies of work that belong together, that want to play together, and so it's a real fun, creative endeavor to pair images up.
Beautiful images that Doug likes to share with others.
We are at the historic 1906 Camano City Schoolhouse. We're here promoting the upcoming Camano Island studio tour.
He also has published several books highlighting his work.
I have a book that I call Portraits of Nature because people aren't the only ones that deserve a decent portrait.
Art that he hopes it portrays a positive and emotional reaction.
You can see Doug's art in the 27th annual Camano Island Studio Tour. That's gonna be on Mother's Day weekend. That's May 8, 9, and 10.
The Seattle Asian Art Museum exhibit is taking on a community of struggles. through a touching art concept.
Now in our 40th season, Evening shares local stories that make our community shine. Evening is sponsored by Pemco Insurance. Pemco empowers the Northwest to prevent the preventable. Learn how at pemco.com.
Welcome back to the show from Henry's Gymnasium in Capitol Hill. There's an exhibit in Seattle Asian Art Museum that is aiming to lift the weight out of your shoulders.
Worried words.
Too many troubles, not enough time. Fear of loneliness.
Cover pillows and quilts.
Yeah, everybody has burdens.
A communal act of care created by a Seattle artist and a sewing circle.
My name is Karina A. Del Rosario, and this exhibit is Lay Your Burden Down.
From a distance, it looks like a place of comfort. A closer look reveals anxieties.
This refrain about laying your burden down to get rest, to be held, was something that really resonated with me.
She invites people to write whatever is weighing on their hearts at burden stations. Then mounts the words on fabric. Then brings the burdens to sewing circles, where they are embellished with needle and thread and kind thoughts.
There's something about holding on to this small piece of fabric and writing and adding our own mark to it and making these visible stitches that can show our intention, show our care for somebody else.
Annette Wadia E. Nelson was in one of the sewing circles. She found that stitching up other people's burdens helped unravel some of her own.
I think for me, it was the fact that I was meeting women, particularly from various racial and ethnic groups, who were sharing some of the burdens that I too experienced, and I felt a connection to the participants in the sewing circles.
I felt like one thing that I can do during this time of real high anxiety is to create space for people to lay down their own burdens and get rest and hopefully some renewal and support.
Art that invites us to lay our burden down, but also shows that any burden is easier to carry when it's shared.
This is your last chance to check out the exhibit, Lay Your Burden Down. You have until May the 3rd.
One of the Northwest premier RV events is returning to Washington State Fairground to celebrate its 50-year anniversary this week. It's the Puyallup RV Show happening April 30th through May 3rd. Whether you are a full-timer, an experienced road tripper, or a first-time buyer, the event always provides an enjoyable day for everyone, with millennials and Gen Zers now representing 60% of new campers. Explore hundreds of RVs and take advantage of exclusive show-only prices and factory incentives. For the first time ever, the Puyallup RV Show is offering a buy one, get one free ticket opportunity, making children 17 and under free without paying adult. And that includes free parking. That means you can take the entire family to the show for the price of one ticket. But you must buy it online before the show starts on Thursday. This offer ends on Wednesday, April 29. So get your tickets now at PuyallupRVShow.com. Evening is sponsored by Puyallup RV Show.
Best Northwest Escapes is sponsored by Unforgettable Grays Harbor County.
Welcome back to the show from Capitol Hill. Now, time is running out for you to vote in our Best Northwest Escapes viewing poll. That's right, you have about a week to vote and win a getaway to the Washington coast.
All you need to do is vote in our 30th annual Best Northwest Escapes. Go to king5.com/escapes to vote for your favorite getaways. Each vote gives you a chance to win a Grace Harbor getaway to Westport, Ocean Shores, Lake Quinault, and Seabrook, worth $5,000. So vote for your favorite Best Northwest escapes right now.
That does it for me, but I do want to say thank you to Henry's Gymnasium for hosting us today. And if you have the chance, come and check it out. The vibes here are really cool. I will see you guys on the next time. Ciao!